Welcome back to another episode of Bob Montego. This is a series of visits to parks around the West Palm Beach, Royal Palm Beach, Green Acres, Wellington area of Palm Beach that we're doing. And today we are at Veterans Park in Royal Palm Beach, and we are just going to take a quick tour of the park. Okay. Um, while we're doing this, I like to give a little narrative, and so I just want to discuss maybe uh, nice little restaurant, nice waterfall, nice family space. Uh, parks are parks in the United States have had a long history. Um, Starting, I believe, with maybe not starting with, but the biggest proponents of parks, I think, was Theodore Roosevelt. Correct me if I'm wrong. And some of the most major parks were developed actually during the Great Depression. Much of it was actually developed for much of it was actually developed for stimulating the economy, for giving people work to do, and others were developed as means of conservation methods of keeping wildlife in order and preserving the natural ecosystem of certain parts of the United States. By doing so, what it does is it creates preservation preservation of the natural character of the area. Uh, yeah, you see this park is pretty nice. A lot of nice, comfy space. This is a little amphitheater, and we'll see a series of them around the park. Yeah, so some of them were developed as preservation of the natural character of certain areas. Some created, like in the cities, major cities like New York City and so forth. Those creates a relief, something to create recreation, to take some of the destructive energies, perhaps, from kids or residents of the city, from getting into things that would have otherwise be called crimes or delinquencies or deviances, or so. So parks serve lots of different purposes. We see one park I just did a couple of weeks ago that was actually an exercise trail park where people can ride their bikes, or people can ride their bikes or actually walk for strictly the purpose of exercise. Morning, strictly the purpose of exercise and just general recreation. Okay, this park, however, it's a small park comparing to many of the others. It's located in Royal Palm Beach, Florida. It's in Palm Beach County. Has a nice little cafe here. And it's designed as a comfortable little space. Designed as a comfortable little space for those wanting to get together for a lot of parties, or little catered events, or stuff of that sort. Family just wanting to hang out, or kids wanting to get into the sprinklers. Like this right here is a big sprinkler, but it's not hot enough. It's like 8 something in the morning, like roughly about 8:30. So that sprinkler right here is not on, but normally the water would be going up and down, and the kids just love that sort of thing. So uh, it's not very crowded yet because again it's early in the morning, and people generally like to morning. Okay, people generally like to just come and hang out and get the fresh air and get an early start. As you can see, there are a lot of kiddies play section. Like that's a kiddie play section. Lots of restroom facilities. All of the makings of a modern park. All right. Yeah. So the history of parks in the United States is a long one. Today, parks have become something more than just recreational centers. They they serve the purpose of public holdings too. Government reclaim lands and putting them to good use, or they stand as monuments. And when I say monuments, for example, just want to show you this real quickly. These are soldiers. Not sure of which war, but yeah, United States value their soldiers very much. But if I had to guess, I'm gonna guess that it looks more like the Korean War. Okay, so yeah, so parks today have. Oh, here's another monument over here. Of course, this is a memorial park, so they're memorializing the military. You see them highlighting different functions of, I guess, the military, first responders. That looks like a police officer, but that's a firefighter there doing a rescue, and this looks like a doctor. So, yes. So, as I was saying, yeah, they use these parks today to, when government seize properties, they reclaim lands a lot, quite a bit, to build government assets. They won't tell you that, but yes, they do. Some of it they use as monuments, paying tributes to a lot of times to war veterans. Sometimes to people like civil rights leaders like Martin Luther King. More recently, that wasn't always the case, but that's quite a bit of the reason they actually do that. And this is one. We have one plaque here. Let's see if I can give you a good read of it. Veteran Parks Performance Pavilion, November 11, 1992. Okay. And this is the pavilion. This is a stage looking out. It's a pavilion, performing pavilion, and this is a stage looking out. All over there are just nicely set seats among grass and stuff. This is essentially a amphitheater with a pavilion as its stage. Okay. Yeah, so continuing, just want to see. Yeah, so it's essentially a small park, but very comfy and has quite a bit to offer. I'll give you a little, yeah. And there's a number of these performing outlets here in this park. Now, the investments, you can judge the quality of a society based on its parks, and they have recognized that social engineers, oops, wrong section. I think I'll go this direction. Social engineers, town planners and civil engineers, and so they've figured out that you put these nice little parks in a community, and what it does, it creates a higher quality of life, and it tries to raise it provides a higher standard of living, right? And in so doing, they're hoping to raise the quality of life in these communities that they put them in, because the issue of quality of life and standard of living are not exactly the same. Because like in what you call advanced countries like the United States, you could easily achieve high standard of living, but the question is it a better quality of life than, let's say, a poor country where someone can go and sit on the beach, hang out on the beach, and hang out on the beach and say, or climb up the mountains, or sit by a riverside, or a lake, or some wonderful scenery with animals and stuff, right? So there is a difference between quality of life and standard of living, and oftentimes it is not something that's well known. I'm rambling on, and I am appreciating you entertaining my ramblings. I'm trying to fill in for my video so you can be entertained while you actually do this. Here they're highlighting one of the major animals of this area, the alligator. And believe me, alligator, turtles, cranes, flamingos. Don't see any flamingos, but all these animals are very, very much endemic to the Florida Royal Palm Beach area. All right. Okay, so I think I've made perhaps a full circle, and I'm coming back to the cafeteria, which I think is the center of the place. All right, so the gist of what I actually want to tell you is that when governments invest in parks, public spaces like parks, this is a good investment, not just because it beautifies the place, but it adds a great deal to the quality of life there, and to the value of living. All right, nice park they've opened, nice cafe, breakfast cafe. All right, it adds to the quality of life, and governments around the world should seek to actually spend more in parks. They think that schools and libraries and bus and all those is essentially what you need for people's quality of life. But no, quality of life can and will be lifted up when you provide citizens, tax-paying citizens, or beneficiaries of tax-paying citizens, when you afford them a higher standard of living by giving them these recreational space. Thanks for entertaining me rambling. This is Bob Montego, and if you haven't yet done so, please like, share, subscribe, and tell someone about my videos. Thanks again for watching.